Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel Shells Hearts Art, and today I'll be doing the seamstress tag. So I'll go ahead and start, and for the sake of the video I will be looking at the questions on my phone, so please pardon me if I do not maintain eye contact throughout the entirety of the video. I'm just looking at the questions. So first question is, who are you? And as you can see, my channel is called Shells Hearts Art and I go by Shells, and I'm just a girl who likes to sew. When and why did you start sewing? I started sewing back in 2013, so it was the summer of 2013. So it would make it almost 5 years coming this upcoming summer in 2018. And why did I start sewing? I started sewing because I just had the creative urge. One day I was sitting at home and I wanted to do something creative, and the idea to make clothes just sounded really tempting, so I got into that. And the first thing I actually sewed was a skirt, and I hand sewed it. I didn't even use a sewing machine, and I was very proud of it. But yeah, after that I started making more things, and I eventually started using an old sewing machine that I had, and yeah, I got into it. It was an old sewing machine from a family member, by the way. It wasn't my sewing machine. I just borrowed it and started creating things. Let's see. Also, when I started sewing, it wasn't a very consistent process because I was actually in university. So it was the summer that I had to go back to university. So I would sew all summer and then put my sewing machine away, put my sewing supplies away, just so I could focus on studying. But eventually when I graduated, I got back into being able to sew more consistently. So yeah. What is your favorite or proudest make? My favorite or proudest make, I would have to say, is a dress that I self-drafted. It's more of a gown type of dress, and I will insert a picture at the end of this video. But I was very proud of that dress because I worked really hard and it was completely self-drafted, and yeah, it was just, it's like my baby of dresses. I love it, and I think it just represents all the things that I can do with sewing, and it challenged me, and I felt like through that dress I could see my ability and how I can achieve anything if I just push myself. So yeah, I think that's my proudest make. And it's also a reflection of something that I would like to do with sewing. Eventually I would like to get back into self-drafting clothes, but for right now I want to stick with patterns just so I can get more practice, because I believe that using patterns helps you with construction and technique. So I definitely want to stick with that for right now, but in the future I would love to get back into pattern drafting and just learning the technical process of drafting patterns and everything like that. Fourth, what is your most disastrous make? Okay, I have many of those. When I first started sewing, I probably had, like, every other thing I made was probably a disaster, because at the time I thought it was amazing, and then I look back at it, I'm like, what was I thinking? So yeah, a lot of the things that I made in the beginning were disasters, because I had a thing in the beginning where I wouldn't even use a pattern. I tried to create my own patterns by self-drafting, but it wasn't even like proper self-drafting. It was just a disaster. So a lot of the stuff I made in the beginning, they were disasters. However, I think that through those disasters you tend to get better. So my disastrous makes, I have many. I can't just give you one off the top of my head, but through that I'm able to see the progression that I've made with my sewing. So yeah. Where is your favorite place to go fabric shopping? I love to go to Joann's and Hobby Lobby, especially those two, because they also give you coupons, so I love that. Aside from that, I don't really go anywhere else. Sometimes I'll look online. I literally just ordered a few fabrics off of sewover.com, and I'm looking forward to see how those fabrics turn out. I'm confident they'll be lovely because her own website has a good reputation. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to my Sew Over fabrics, but for now it's just Joann's and Hobby Lobby. What is your most used pattern? At the moment, I'm still a newbie when it comes to using commercial patterns and indie patterns for sewing. So I don't really have a most used pattern yet. I haven't really made anything twice. I made a few things twice, but not many. Not enough to call it my most used pattern. So right now I don't have one. Your most dreaded sewing task is? For me, I do not look forward to hemming clothes. I have no idea why. I think because once I've created the garment, I just want to go ahead and wear it. I don't want to hem it. I don't want to clean the inside of it, but I just want to go ahead and put it on. But I know the importance of hemming your clothes because you want them to last long. You want to take care of them. So of course I do hem my clothes. It's just the most dreaded task for me. I don't look forward to doing it. That's the truth. And your favorite sewing task? I don't really know my favorite sewing task because I just enjoy the process of sewing itself. I think for me the most fun part is kind of deciding on what it is you want to create next. I don't know if that's considered a task. Aside from that, I think once I'm finished with the garment and I get to put it on the mannequin, I think that's my favorite sewing task, is putting my garment on the dress form. I don't know if that's considered a task, but once you see your garment on the dress form, it brings like happiness to you, because you get to see what your garment's looking like and how it's gonna result, and you just get an idea of how everything's gonna come out, you know? So yeah. What is your favorite sewing entertainment? Now for me, I absolutely have to listen to music while I'm sewing. There's just no way I can't. Like, I love music, and by listening to music, it kind of fuels me. It's like energy. So every time I'm sewing, I have my iPod in. The only reason I'm not listening to music is if my iPod's dead, but I'm usually listening to music while I'm sewing. Printed or PDF? Okay. At first, I was definitely only a printed girl. I was afraid of PDF patterns because it just looked intimidating having to piece it together. I was like, oh no, let's just stick to what I know. But I actually enjoy PDF as well because you can get it immediately, and it's also cheaper. So I don't really know if I can pick, because printed patterns just save you time, but PDF, it saves you money. So I'm not sure. The thing about PDF patterns, though, you do use a lot of paper when you print it out, so that's one thing. And then printed patterns, they cost a little more, but you save less time. So I'm not sure. I think I'd have to go 50-50. I don't think I can answer that. What sewing machine do you use? Now I use a Brothers sewing machine. I took a picture on my phone. It's the Inovis NQ700 Project Runway sewing machine, and it was an investment for me, and I truly absolutely love my sewing machine. I haven't invested in a serger yet. I'm taking my time before I do that, but this sewing machine, I truly love it because it does have the option to do like a mock serger stitch. While it may not be an exact serger stitch, it still hems your clothes similar to what a serger does. So yeah, I love my sewing machine. It's an investment. I think when you choose your sewing machine, you should choose wisely. Definitely take your time. There's no rush, and start small if you're a beginner. There's no need to go out and get the fanciest sewing machine on the market. Just take your time. So yeah, next question. Do you have any other hobbies? And I do. Another hobby I have is drawing. I love to draw. I have fashion illustrations that I do. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see some of my fashion illustrations, but that's something I love to do. I love drawing. And something else is reading. I love reading books. Before I got into sewing, I was way more of an avid reader. However, sewing has kind of taken over, but I try to squeeze in a book here and there. And another one is music. I love listening to music. I grew up participating in choir, so music is always going to be a part of my life. So yeah, that's it. Those are the 12 questions from the Seamstress Tag. I'm so happy you watched this video. If you like what you saw, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Shells Hearts Art, and have a nice day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.